I never thought a dating app would lead to a long distance relationship, but here we are.
I've been hopeful, baby. I was hoping maybe that you'd cross my path. I've been sinking lately, and it's hard to move. Think I'm stuck on you.
Hello everybody, and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Alen. I create beauty, lifestyle, travel, fashion, and home related videos. There's really no niche here. I have ADHD and it just is what it is. Obviously, you're here for a reason because of the title of the video. I'm gonna give you a little backstory on how my long distance relationship came to be. Exactly 2 years ago, I was on a dating app as a joke. Was in Canada at the time, and I had my location set to Dubai, and I was at a friend's house, and they were like, Alen, I want to see your dating profile, your swipes, and like your messages. I feel like it would be really entertaining. So I was like, okay, let me show you. And they're like, wait, why is your location set to Dubai? At that point in my life, I didn't really know if I was looking for something or wasn't really taking the dating app seriously per se, but a lot of my friends had told me to download it, and I was like, okay, fine. While I was at their house, I was like, okay, let me set it to somewhere closer. I knew I didn't want to set it in Canada. Like, I want it to be somewhere where it never snows, you know? So I was like, kind of went like this to zoom in on a random place, clicked a random spot and set my location to California for about 10 minutes, swiped a few times, and then reset my location back to Toronto. Craziest thing, in that 10 minutes, I just so happened to match with my boyfriend. To me, that's crazy, because what are the odds that I randomly set my location in the exact same radius that he was in, and he just happened to be swiping on the app at that time? I didn't swipe on him, he swiped on me. I would only go into this section where it's like who liked you or whatever. I wouldn't just swipe on the home page. So anyways, I saw this guy. I was like, wow, this guy's really handsome, and he's 6'5". I'm like, oh, and he has dark features. I'm like, tall, dark, and handsome. I'm like, oh, and he's Italian. Okay, swipe. You know, he wasn't my typical type that I'm used to going for, but I was like, wow, he's very handsome. Ended up matching with him on December 17th, which is exactly the date today, which is crazy that I decided to randomly film this video today. I didn't even realize that. So I swiped, matched with him, and then I received a message in my DMs, and of course it was in Italian, because why else would he not slide in with Italian? It's just smooth, if you ask me. I don't want to think about him messaging other girls in Italian, but just gonna pretend it was just me. That really got my attention because he was the first one to message, which I like. I like when a man takes initiative. And I also like that it was different from just like the average message that I get. And I was like, oh, that's cute. I like that. We started talking back and forth, and honestly, the conversation was just very smooth. It was very easy. I was looking forward to messaging him. And typically, I don't really give my number out. It's just something I don't do. I don't like random people being able to text me or get a hold of me at any time. I don't enjoy that. So I was usually hesitant to give out my number, but for some reason when he asked, I was like, yeah, like do it. So I gave him my phone number, and the craziest thing to me about this entire thing is that when we were messaging back and forth, I was like, oh, this is so smooth, this is so nice, easy to talk to, like there's humor there, it's like a little banter, which I like. But it was funny because we were talking about like, oh, where do you work, what do you do, blah, 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 blah. And because there's a place in California called Ontario, it's like Ontario, CA, which looks like Ontario, Canada, but it's Ontario, California. He thought that I was in Ontario, California, and I didn't realize where he was even from. Like at that point, I had just been like messaging people, so I didn't know who was from where or whatever. I wasn't like constantly looking back at the profile. I was just having conversation. And then work came up and like where we work, and he was like, wait, where is that? I was like, oh, it's like downtown Toronto. And he's like, Toronto, Canada? And I was like, yeah, like where are you? And he's like, I'm in California. And I was like, oh, quick little flight. Like I literally just said that, quick little flight. Who am I? Who do I think I am? Anyway, he was like, yeah, I guess so. And then I started looking up how long is the flight. It's about 5 hours. That's actually not that bad. And then I didn't really think anything of it. He was probably like, what the hell? Like now I'm talking to this girl that's 5 hours away from me by plane, literally a whole different time zone. What the heck? So I don't even know why he ended up asking me for my number after that. He must have really fancied me, because anyway, I ended up giving him my number, and it was very strange because from the moment we started texting, it was just like everything just clicked. And I remember texting him, and it was like 4 o'clock in the morning, and I'm like, oh my god, I've been talking to this guy, because 4 o'clock in the morning in Toronto was 1 o'clock in the morning in California. So there's a 3-hour time difference. Toronto's ahead 3 hours. So I would stay up super late just to be talking to him all hours of the night, and I wouldn't want to go to bed. Like I wouldn't want to put my phone down because I was just texting. And it was so funny because I remember laying in my bed and I was texting him, and I was like, oh my god, I've been texting you for however long now, like maybe a week, month-ish, not even, like 3 days. And I was like, you don't even know what I sound like. You don't even know what my voice is like. I've never even seen your face other than on your profile. Like, what if you're a catfish? What if I'm a catfish? I can probably try to find some of the screenshots of our first conversations and like put them in here because they're probably pretty funny. And then I remember him immediately sending me a voice audio to show me what his voice sounded like. And it was like just deep and cute. And I was like, okay, I like it. So anyway, I sent him one back, but obviously I have a really raspy voice. So I was like, hey, I'm not sick. It's just 4 a.m. and like my voice is really raspy. I promise I don't smoke like 17 packs of cigarettes a day. It was just funny because it was just like the timing I sent it. My voice is already raspy. So then I was insecure and I was like, oh my God, whatever. But anyway, so at this point we hadn't like FaceTimed or anything like that yet. But I remember I was like, oh, we need to do a FaceTime date. We need to talk. I want to have an actual conversation with you on the phone. And I don't really like the phone. I prefer FaceTime. I feel like it's a little bit more intimate. So anyway, the first FaceTime call we had, I kid you not, was 8 hours long. 8 hours we were on the phone. And it felt like 20 minutes. I did not want to get off the phone. It was just like I was talking to my person. It was so crazy. I couldn't even explain it. Everyone was just thinking that I was crazy. But when you know, you know. The connection was so good. The way we communicated was great. There was just never a dull moment. In 8 hours, imagine talking to somebody for 8 hours straight and it didn't even feel like you were on the phone for 30 minutes. Like, what do you mean? It was just amazing. So I remember it was around Christmas time and I was going back to my hometown for Christmas with my family. And I was kind of telling my family about it. And I was like, listen, I met this guy online. He's really cool, blah, 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 blah. But he lives in California. And they were like, what? This is not gonna work out. You know, like this can't be serious. You're gonna do long distance in California? Absolutely not. So I was like, no, I think I am. I just have a feeling. I remember being at my grandparents' house. Honestly, it was probably about a week and a half, maybe 10 days after we had initially matched. And we had already started looking at flights for me to come and visit him. And yes, I know. I flew out to see him first, which was absolutely crazy. I'll get into that in a minute. But so we booked a flight to visit him the following month. So I was going to meet him literally in person a month after we connected and we were talking. So give me a little bit time to get to know him, continue FaceTiming him, see if like he's a crazy person, whatever. So anyway, we booked the flight, no hesitation, and the plan was in motion. I was gonna go and see him end of January 2024. That was crazy. And then I remember telling my friends and family pretty much immediately that I got a flight and I was gonna go see him. And they're like, no, you're not. That's absolutely crazy. What if he's like a serial killer? You're gonna end up on a Netflix documentary, dating app, swindler, killer, whatever guy. And I was like, well, if that's my fate, like, then that's my fate. And everyone's like, are you out of your mind? That's how I would literally respond. I'd be like, if that's how I'm meant to go, then that's how I'm meant to go. I'm letting Jesus take the wheel with this one because my gut just told me, you have to do this and you're never gonna know unless you do it. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna do it. Now, I did follow a lot of precautions, obviously. My family had his name, his phone number, his address, every single detail my family had, because obviously they were very nervous about my safety and going. And they were like, let me know as soon as you get there, tell me as soon as you're at the airport, blah, 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 whatever. I just knew there had been a couple of things that came up, questions that were asked, and we started talking about kids, marriage, where we wanna live, what we wanna do with our lives, goals for the future, just things that we wanted, literally like finances, credit scores, things like that, like family history. Anything that would need to come up came up. Pretty much every single thing was aligned, which I was like, okay, that's amazing. And then we had like a little obstacle that kind of came up at the beginning, but the way that it was handled was just, wow, this is amazing. This was handled even better than I could have imagined. That's the moment that I just knew. I was like, wow, this is the person who I want to be my partner. I had known pretty early on, without even meeting him, that like we were gonna be together. I didn't even meet him in person and I already knew. I didn't even kiss him yet. I didn't even know how the physical chemistry was. I didn't know anything, but I knew. I just knew. Honestly, I don't think I was even nervous until the night before my flight. And I have a couple of videos documenting the night before, getting ready, haven't been packed yet, and then the day of my entire travel experience. Like, I'll insert those here so you guys can kind of watch them while I'm talking to you, or you guys can click on the links to kind of go see that journey. But I wasn't really nervous until the night before, and I think I was just telling myself, you already know. Why are you nervous when you already know? Nothing bad's gonna happen. Everything is gonna work out in your favor. You've manifested everything in your life up to this point. Like, trust your gut. Your gut is always right. So I don't really think, I wasn't really scared. I wasn't nervous until the night before, and I wasn't scared until I was at the airport and like on the plane, and then the plane was landing, and I was like, I'm actually here. I'm actually doing this. And of course, I was feeling under the weather that day already, so I was like, oh, I couldn't have just been feeling top notch. No, I had to be a little sick as well. So I ended up flying there, I believe, on January 24th, 2024, and it was insane. Like I can't even explain to you the feeling of getting off the plane and knowing that he's gonna be there waiting for me, and just like walking down the long tunnel at LAX to go to the arrivals where the baggage is. And I was just like, oh my god, this is actually happening. Like my heart was racing so fast. I was trying to film it, but then I'm like, no, I really want to be present in the moment. So I just put my phone down, and then he was texting me and he was like, hey, like I'm here, I'm waiting, da, da, da. So I was like, oh my god, my heart was racing so fast. As I walked out of the tunnel and I turned around the corner, I just saw him standing there, and he was just this tall, handsome man wearing this black leather jacket with his little slick black hair and his deep brown eyes with these gorgeous lashes. His smile was just radiating from ear to ear with his dimples. Oh my god, I was obsessed. And he has like the cutest little button nose, and so I remember literally just sprinting. I started just running to him. He started running to me. He picked me up, spun me around. We literally kissed like instantly. And then I was like, oh my god. He's like, you're real. I'm like, you're real. What the, like literally, what is life? And then after that, I was just holding him. He was holding my hand. It was just like so, I can't explain the feeling to anybody. Unless you've experienced something like this, it's so hard to explain. But it was so magical in so many ways. And I was just, wow, am I the luckiest girl ever? I don't even know. It was so cool. And it was crazy because leading up to this point, I had gone on a vacation with a lot of my friends, and we went on a trip to Aruba, and the people that we were with were like, you haven't even met him. I was like, no, this is my husband. This is gonna be my husband. I already know. I'm gonna marry him. And they were like, you didn't even meet him yet. Like, how are you making this assumption? You don't even know him in person, and you're already saying you're gonna be dating him, you're gonna marry him, all this stuff. I was like, yeah, I just know. Like, talk to me after you meet him, whatever. And look at me now, baby. It's been 2 years. So when you know, you know. Always trust your gut, literally. Your gut never lies to you. That's it, that's all. So I really think the initial meeting exceeded my expectations. I just think it was just magical, to say the least. It was very sweet. And it felt like a scene from a movie, really. It felt like I was living in a movie or like a fairy tale or something, because who does this? Who flies to a different country to meet a man that they matched with online less than a month ago and just has that experience? I don't know. I still think I'm living in a dream sometimes, but whatever. Fast forward 2 years, we're gonna be celebrating our 2-year anniversary next month, which I just think is crazy, absolutely crazy. Long distance is not for the weak. It's really not for the weak. And this video is just part 1 of the long distance relationship series / chapter in my life. And I'm so looking forward to sharing more with you guys, and any questions you have, please let me know down in the comments. I'll try to answer as many of them as possible. I just want to share the real truth about long distance relationships, because not a lot of people talk about it, and I feel like there's so much more to know before getting into it, or so many more things I could probably say to you that will help you get through it if that's something that you're in right now. I'm so happy to be sharing this finally. I feel like it's very long overdue, and just the story of how we met, it really just feels like it's meant to be. And I feel so lucky and grateful that it happened the way that it did. And I'm so excited to share the LDR, long distance relationship series, with all of you. So if you're new here, make sure you subscribe. And if you're already a subscriber, an OG, I love you. Thank you for being here. And I hope you're excited for what's to come. So that's it. That's all. I will see you all in my next video. Bye.